Hi, dear friends. It's so good to have you here with me. Now, let me ask you something personal, but important. Have you ever found yourself turning down invitations more often than before? Craving quiet instead of chatter? Maybe people even joke that you're becoming a bit of a recluse. But here's the truth. You're not broken, you're not cold, and you're certainly not alone. In fact, there are psychological reasons why many of us start pulling back from social circles as we get older. And they're not only normal. They're often signs of wisdom, peace, and emotional growth. So stay with me, because today we're going to gently walk through 10 powerful reasons why this happens, and why it might actually be one of the healthiest parts of growing older. Reason 1. Your tolerance for nonsense shrinks. Remember when you were younger and you could sit through hours of meaningless gossip, tolerate rude people at work, or force a smile at shallow parties? Well, somewhere along the way, that tolerance just disappears. A woman once told me, "I'm too old to pretend anymore." And she meant it. We've spent decades navigating small talk, social politics, and obligations. But now, we know our time is too valuable. You start recognizing when a conversation isn't genuine. You can tell when someone is being fake or just talking to hear themselves speak. You've earned the right to say, "No thanks." Reason 2. You prioritize depth over drama. Aging reshapes your values. In our youth, we often sought acceptance, popularity, or validation. We were pulled into circles we didn't even like just to feel included. But now, you're looking for something deeper. You want connections that feel real, conversations that nourish the soul, friendships that are calm, not chaotic. And if that means having only a few trusted people in your life, that's not a loss, it's a gift. Less drama, more peace. That's what wisdom looks like. Reason 3. Grief quietly redefines your social world. This one is harder. As we grow older, we inevitably lose people, friends, partners, siblings, even adult children. And each loss changes you. Not just emotionally, but socially. You stop going to gatherings where they used to be. You avoid conversations that feel too raw. You shrink, not because you want to, but because life has carved out pieces of your circle. Grief teaches us to tread carefully, to protect our hearts. Sometimes, being alone feels safer than risking another goodbye, and that's okay. Reason 4. You've lived enough to get tired of pretending. There's a unique kind of fatigue that comes from decades of being socially appropriate, from smiling when you didn't feel like it, from laughing at jokes that weren't funny, from pretending to enjoy small talk when your heart was aching inside. It's not that you hate people, you're just tired of wearing the mask. Now, you value authenticity. And if that means saying no to the birthday dinner or not picking up every phone call, then so be it. That's not rudeness. That's self-respect. Reason 5. Your emotional filters have been refined. You no longer let just anyone into your life. You've been hurt before, betrayed, used, disappointed, and now your intuition is sharper. You sense when someone's energy doesn't feel safe. You trust your gut when it says, "This isn't someone I want around." Boundaries become non-negotiable, and what used to feel like avoidance is actually emotional intelligence. Protecting your space is a powerful kind of love for yourself. If any of this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. You're not alone in this shift. And the more we talk about it, the more we realize how normal and healthy it is. Now, let's keep going. Reason 6. Time starts to feel sacred. There's something beautiful and a little scary about realizing that time is no longer infinite. When we're young, we say yes to everything. We overcommit. But after 60, something shifts. You begin to see time as a treasure. You ask yourself, is this worth my energy? You learn to say no with grace and without guilt. Because every hour spent on things that don't matter is an hour you'll never get back. This doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. Reason 7. Physical and mental energy isn't what it used to be. Let's be honest. Sometimes the energy just isn't there. A lunch outing that used to feel fun now feels exhausting. Loud conversations become overwhelming. Standing around for hours drains you more than it used to. And beyond that, your mind craves more stillness. You need recovery time, emotionally and physically, after too much stimulation. So you start choosing rest over reunions. And that's not antisocial, it's self-care. Reason 8, you've grown more comfortable with silence. There was a time when silence felt awkward. Now, it feels sacred. You no longer fear being alone. In fact, solitude becomes your sanctuary. You use quiet time to reflect, to create, to heal. You may even find joy in simple moments, watching the trees sway, sipping tea, reading something that moves you. This isn't loneliness. This is connection with yourself. And it's one of aging's greatest blessings. Reason 9, you've outgrown social expectations. For years, maybe decades, you lived according to someone else's rules. Be polite, keep up appearances, say yes to every invitation. Don't be the odd one out. But now, those rules feel irrelevant. You've outgrown them. You no longer care what people think of your choices. You don't need to explain why you're staying home or why your circle is smaller than it used to be. You've finally learned to live life on your terms, and that freedom is priceless. Reason 10, you've finally learned about the peace. This might be the most powerful truth of all. You've spent much of your life making others comfortable, smoothing over conflicts, putting others' needs first. But now, peace has become your compass. You choose what feels peaceful, even if it disappoints someone else. You protect your heart, even if it confuses others. Because at this stage of life, peace is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And the relationships that survive this shift, they're the ones worth keeping. So if you found yourself avoiding people more as you've aged, don't apologize. Don't feel guilty. And above all, don't assume something is wrong with you. This isn't isolation. This is evolution. You're becoming more intentional, more authentic, more you. And in that sacred space, between noise and quiet, between connection and solitude, you'll find something rare: clarity, calm, and sometimes even joy. So embrace the shift. You've earned it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with someone you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.